I have a question for you.
Yes.
Are you a member of the Judea's People Front?
Judea People Front. It's the People's Front of Judea. The People's Front of Judea. Anyways, all I said was this stew is good enough for Jehovah. Blasphemy. We could keep it cool.
We're going to hell.
Which one? We're going to at least 5 different hells. Like they're gonna have to fight for custody over us, you know?
Wait, are we gonna be flying with an airplane to get from one hell to another, or how do we get there? You know, what's the transportation?
Usually it's by spaceship, except for 9/11. Then it's by plane.
Demonetization. Here we go.
Not like we're making any money. Anyways,
That was so blasphemous of you.
Yeah. Speaking about blasphemy, we're gonna talk about blasphemy laws. They're probably the funniest thing ever, like especially in a modern day and age. The thing that inspired me recently was the Quran burnings in Copenhagen. I think it was in Denmark.
I think it was Denmark.
Yeah,
Somewhere in Scandinavia.
yeah, somewhere in Scandinavia. Basically, some group of people who, funnily enough, were ex-Muslims, burned the Quran in front of a mosque, which obviously gonna cause them outrage. In response to that, a Muslim guy staged a protest where he apparently was gonna burn a Bible and a Torah, but he made it as a ploy to get more attention. He basically said no religious book should be burned, we should be more tolerant and whatnot. The thing that's interesting about these events is that it actually spawned a debate in the Swedish parliament, and a majority of people in Sweden were polled and actually replied that they before blasphemy laws to be instituted. For the record, Sweden has no blasphemy laws as of right now, but they could in the future, which is interesting.
And this video is filmed on 9/11/2023.
Yes, thank you.
No, just for reference, so people
for
know.
context, yeah. But what I was saying, when I started earlier, blasphemy laws are so goddamn silly to me in 2023, especially in secular nations, because other secular nations in Europe that have blasphemy laws include Poland, and Poland has the funniest use for blasphemy laws. You know what blasphemy laws prevent in Poland? Fuck all. No, I'm wrong. The only thing blasphemy laws prevent in Europe is male musicians. Because male musicians usually evoke certain themes and topics that go against said blasphemy laws. A good example of this is Behemoth, who are constantly in odds with the law. Like, if you're a male musician in Sweden, Poland, pardon, expect a blasphemy lawsuit to come your way soon enough. And that's the only thing it prevents. It doesn't really prevent religious-based hate speech. It doesn't really serve to improve one moral, I don't know, moral beliefs, standing, understanding, say it how you will. It's just a nuisance. Now, blasphemy laws in non-secular countries. And now that's a bit worrying. Because blasphemy laws in non-secular countries aren't just a slap on the wrist as they are in secular countries. In non-secular countries, it's
I mean,
yeah.
We also have to mention that most of the non-secular countries follow one religion. And that religion claims to be tolerant in the West, but in the countries where it is part of the nation,
Yeah.
you can't say one word against it. Like, you can't say one word against the religion.
Yeah.
And sorry if you had something else to add. I
No,
didn't want to cut you off.
No, it's okay. Like, interesting you said that, because I was speaking about metal bands in Poland, and I give a similar example to Black and Death metal band from Saudi Arabia that I actually like. That's really fun. There's this one Black and Death metal band from Saudi Arabia. I can't even pronounce the name because it's in Arabic, but I've been following them for a while. They're probably one of the most interesting metal bands in existence. Because they're based out of Saudi Arabia, where playing any sort of music of this type is actually punishable by the death sentence, they have to record their music on the run constantly. These guys are constantly being pursued by the government for execution for making metal music.
Yep.
And it's really one of those curious cases of the world. I have no other way to say it. But it's also a good example of what we're talking about now. How dangerous blasphemy laws are. Because at its core, what the blasphemy laws try to achieve? At its core, they want to achieve, they want to, how to say it? To achieve a moral character among the population, To act faithful, to not sin, all the good stuff. But that's nigh impossible in today's day and age. Because the moment you open your border to all the benefits, should I say, of the modern day and age, you also open yourself to change. Let's take a look at Saudi Arabia, since we used this as an example earlier. Yes, they have blasphemy laws, but they also have free access to the internet. And it's very funny, but the Middle East, Saudi Arabia just being one of the countries, are actually the biggest consumers of porn, which is very funny. Like, the countries that are most opposed to it, most against it, are the ones who indulge the most in it.
And they have the kinkiest shit.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
No, literally.
Yeah.
Kinkiest shit.
Yeah. Yep. The things that go on in Dubai. Oh, the things that go on in Dubai. But that's the thing. Even if they have blasphemy laws, that did not and is not, should I say, because it's ongoing, preventing the change, the cultural change, the social change that is going on in these countries. So really, blasphemy laws only work in cultures that are very stagnant, should I say. And they don't get influenced by outside forces too much. And in today's day and age, it's impossible to not get influenced by outside forces. The country that's probably least influenced by outside forces is North Korea. And ironically, it's got the reverse of blasphemy law. Yeah. Like, ironically, still, it has a lot of, how do I say? It's suffering a lot of influence from outside countries. Like, any geopolitical occurrence in the general region affects North Korea, even if they're an isolationist. So as I was saying, blasphemy laws only work in an age where there isn't a lot of social and cultural change. In our day and age where there's like a new thing every 2 years, they're redundant.
I have two things to add if that's okay.
Okay. Just two?
Yeah, just two.
Okay.
The first thing is, the countries that enforce blasphemy law are the ones that follow the religious book to the T, but most of them have never read the book. Yeah. Because no religious book tells you to pursue someone who doesn't agree with you. Every single religious book tells you to be tolerant and to teach the person who doesn't agree with you. They accept criticism in the text. Yeah. That's the first thing I wanted to say. I'm just going to be short with that. You mentioned Saudi Arabia and black metal band.
Yeah.
A few years ago on YouTube, a random documentary popped up about Malaysian punk scene. Because Malaysia is also an Islamic country. And there the punk scene is usually teenagers who have access to the internet, who have seen everything, that you can see on the internet. And the documentary was so nice. Like, every single teenager who gave an interview, they were like, we're not against religion, but we have to sing against it because it's oppressing freedom of expression. And the punk scene in Malaysia used to be like, if you're caught singing or listening to punk music, lock me up.
Yeah.
Until the documentary popped up. Afterwards, they started to, like, the government started being more lenient towards punk music. And to me, it's just funny how, for someone who claims to be tolerant, especially in the West, in the country where you do enforce, you know, your morals, your ethics, your religion, you don't tolerate shit. And that I always find it funny when people in the West were like, oh, we need to bring the Crusaders back, or oh, we need to bring Sharia law to this country. No, you don't. Because you're gonna lose everything you have.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose every single freedom you know of. Tell me how that's normal. Tell me how that's normal. Like, I understand why I don't know how to properly express this. I understand blasphemy law because you shouldn't be talking shit about something that you do not know.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who have never read a single religious book talk shit about religion. Like, no. First read and then explain why you don't agree with it. Don't just go around saying dumb stuff, you know?
Yeah. I mean, look,
But,
from a legal aspect, blasphemy laws are there to prevent religious conflicts.
yeah.
But
That's where I was going.
Yeah, but the thing is, it rarely does that. More often than not, it just tramples on personal liberties.
Yep. But like I said, I do understand why they exist. I don't agree that they should be enforced.
Yep.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Those are the two things I had to say. If you have anything else to add.
No, that's it. That's it. What do you think? Are there any pros to blasphemy laws?
As always, let us know in the comments, and we'll see you next time. Peace.